Hello, everybody. You're listening to Lute Air Student Radio, LASR. You can call in at 253-535-7755. And you can visit our website at plu.edu/laser, that's LASR, to send our show and anyone else's to your friends and family. You can also find our website for the main PLU Laser Radio at LASR Radio. That's LASRRADIO. Or you can come check out the Nest Instagram page at _Nest_PLU. And with that being said, welcome back to another episode of The Nest. And my God, it feels like it's going to be a long, long fall and winter. How should we even begin this, man?
I say we start by crying for a good 5 minutes and then we get into it.
I just want to remind everyone that I am Charles.
And then I am Coleman.
And we have been running the show for a couple weeks now, about a month. Actually, yeah, about a month.
About a month now.
So it's been a great experience, and I'm glad to have everybody here still listening. And we want to thank our audience on YouTube, too, who showed some really great engagement. So thank you very much for that. And we're gonna start today with immediately covering Week 6 of the NFL. Let's start with I think the one that everyone's expecting us to go off on.
I'll let you handle that because you are probably more mentally attached to that team than I am.
I cannot believe the shit I saw on Thursday Night Football against the 49ers. I apologize for the language, but someone's got to say this shit. We
were told it was okay, too, by the way.
I don't understand why we're throwing checkdowns on 3rd and 16 when we're down by 12 with 15 minutes to go. God, that game made me so happy and so angry. And Gino, what the hell?
You good? You good, buddy?
I'm imagining. I hope this isn't bad for the mic, but God, we're down by 6. There's 5 minutes left in the damn game, and you throw a freaking pick over the middle. What the hell was that throw? I don't understand. What is your malfunction? No one said you could go back to Jets form. What are you doing?
I will say, I told him to turn off the game multiple times, and he didn't want to listen to me, so...
What the hell is a run game? I don't know what a run game is. No, I don't know what run defense is. Somebody tell me what run defense is, because clearly this team doesn't know what it is. What is the point in paying a #1 receiver also if you don't fucking utilize him? I apologize for the language. I am very upset now. What is the point in you paying for a #1 receiver if you don't use him or utilize him? Okay, you take over or it's going to get a lot worse.
Okay, so, long story short, if you haven't been catching up with the Seahawks, they have now lost their 3rd game in a row. They were 3-0 to start the season. Now they're 3-3. A 6th consecutive game lost against the 49ers, which, as for modern day Seahawks fans, this sucks because we used to destroy them, even as much as 3 years ago.
I put a collage together.
Oh yeah, you did.
Of the years and shit we've been through. I want everyone listening to listen to this. After Super Bowl 48, Super Bowl 49, we get down to the 1-yard line, we throw a pick, we lose the Super Bowl, because of course we do. 2015.
You could have just said 1-yard line and we all would have known what happened.
Whatever, Malcolm Butler. 2015, we make it all big comeback in the divisional round against the 15-1 Panthers, and we lose because Russ throws a pick. 31-24. 2016, we faced the Falcons in Atlanta. We put up a fight. We nearly got a win. Or something happens. Earl Thomas got us exposed because he wasn't playing. We lose 36-20 in the divisional round. Then the next year after that, we missed the playoffs because, what's his name? Fuck, I forgot his name. Our kicker decides, you know what? Playoffs are not okay for me. I don't want to go. And so we lose to our Cardinals 26-24 and miss the playoffs. Next year after that, we go into Dallas and we lose it against the Cowboys 24-22 because our kicker got injured. 2019, this is our best year ever. We're 8-2, 9-2. We're looking really good. We fall off the cliff in the second half of the season. The Niners win the division, because of course they do. We lose in the second round of the playoffs to the Packers, 28-23, after a comeback falls short. Then 2020, we're dominant. We start off 5-0. We fall off a cliff a little bit, but we're fine. And we win the division 12-4. We lose to the Rams 30-20 in the wild card round, and that really pisses me off still listening about it. Then the year after that, Russ decides, I don't like football anymore. And so we go 7-10. And then after that,
okay.
Oh my God.
In all fairness, he broke his finger that year, so.
Oh, his finger needs stitches. He's staying bad.
Wasn't Geno starting for most games that year?
Yes, and we were 3-8 when he started.
Yeah, and we finished 7. We still beat the Niners. This is what sucks.
That's such an accomplishment.
In 2021, in 7-10, we were still able to sweep the Niners, and nowadays, we just can't do it.
For a reminder for everybody, that Niners team in 2021 went to the NFC title game.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next year. We have a surprise season with Geno Smith, resurgence. We go into the playoffs. We hang with the 49ers for 3 quarters. It is 24-17 in that third quarter, and we're fighting, and we could probably upset them. We led at halftime, 17-14. We end up getting shit stomped in the playoffs by a score of...
It was like 43-20.
41-23.
Oh, no, it wasn't 17-14. It was 17-16 at half.
Still.
41-23,
we get shit stomped. Then, I want to recap, because this year, and last year we had the playoffs, but I didn't include that for my mental health. So let's include the last 6 years real quick. We lose to the Niners, 21-13. Niners, 27-7. Niners, 31-13. Niners, 28-16. Niners, 36-24. I think I hate the Niners.
Yeah,
there was a
I would
graphic
say that you do.
I posted on the Instagram that said it was a Seahawks fan with a hat on and said, "Stop giving me your toughest battles." Jesus is like, "How are you still alive?"
That's just all of Seattle sports right now.
There's also another one I posted this morning. Will you please ruin my life? Yes. I miss the days. Even though I was young, I can barely remember it. I wish. Why can't we be good anymore, man? It's almost like a good defense like that is once in a generation.
It's a mid-off right now. With the division, it's a mid-off this year.
I went from calling Geno Smith to Geno's pretty good. Now I'm back to Geno Smith. Let's put Sam Howell back in there. I want to see how he does. Man, I'm so fucking done with this team, man, and I'm gonna continue to support them. We should move on from like the hurt of it, and now just like looking at the upcoming schedule.
We should. Oh God.
We got Atlanta next in Atlanta. We got Buffalo and Seattle. We got the Rams in Seattle.
The Rams are in Seattle.
Then we got the Niners in San Francisco.
We got a bye week between the Rams and the Niners, though.
Oh yeah, because I did.
So
that just makes me feel so much better. Thank you.
There is a very real possibility. Our schedule's a gauntlet. So there's a very real possibility we go on our first 5-game losing streak since the year 2000.
Who's our 5th game after the Niners?
You're gonna have to check because my phone's plugged into the audio system.
You're
right. I think it's the Cardinals though.
Okay, let me check.
I think it's the Cardinals in Seattle.
It is after the Niners. We got the Rams, Niners, Cardinals, then Jets, Cardinals again, Packers, Vikings, Bears, Rams.
Yeah, we're screwed.
We might not win another game. Because, think about this.
I doubt that. We'll beat the...
Really? Want to finish that sentence? You want to finish that sentence?
We'll split with the Rams.
We face the Falcons, Bills, Rams, Niners, Cardinals, Jets, Cardinals, Packers, Vikings, Bears, Rams. You know what? Our Packer game we're going to go do might be $10 because we might be 3-11 by that point. You know what? I'm willing to spend $10 to watch my team lose to the team I've wanted to see since I was 5.
If they
or 9, whatever.
Although if we somehow fall to 3-11 by then, that's not going to be a primetime game anymore. They're going to flex that out.
Let's see. Right now we're 3-3. Let's assume we're not winning. 3-4, 3-5, 3-6, 3-7, 3-8, 3-9, 3-10, 3. Yeah, we'd be 3-10.
That would no longer be a primetime game.
I just love
if
that we
were the
started
case.
3-0 and we're now freaking 3-3.
You're gonna hate me for saying this. There is plenty of season left. We can bounce back. I just saw your eyes go really wide. I don't think you.
The Mariners, the Sounders, the Kraken, and the Seahawks just liked one of our fucking stories.
Oh, that's the
whatever the guy's called.
Seattle sports season.
Yeah,
Shout out to Seattle sports season, by the way.
Yeah,
if you're
Seattle
listening.
sports. I know it caught me off guard. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Kraken.
Did we post that we're live? We should probably do that.
Oh, he just said in there, appreciate it, because you credited him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate you too, man.
Appreciate you.
We're on air right now.
You should. Why don't I go and talk about some division standings, and you go ahead and post that we're on air.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, current NFL divisions are looking like. I just wrote down the leaders. I didn't write down the rest of the standings, but NFC North, the Vikings lead.
Oops.
The Vikings are leading with a with a record of 5-0. NFC West, the 49ers have the tiebreaker because of the divisional record. They're 3-3. We're also 3-3. NFC East, the Commanders. I think that's been the biggest surprise of the year so far.
Oh yeah, 100%.
4-2. They took a loss to the Ravens on Sunday, but it was close. Jaden Daniels played really well. Ravens played better, but the Commanders were always able to stay right in it with them, which I think is a really good news for their team. NFC South is the Falcons. They're 4-2. I believe they hold the tiebreaker over the Bucs.
Yeah, they do. 'Cause they beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah. That was a great game.
That was such a good game. Like, I was at the gym watching it. Oh my god. I had my gym partner yelling at me because I kept stopping.
Because you kept staring at the
I kept
TV.
stopping. He's like, hey, I want to see you do more sets of dumbbell
Was
curls.
it at the ECC gym?
Yeah, it was the ECC gym. He was so mad at me. He's like, hey, get back to it.
All right, AFC North. Ravens 4-2. Pretty shocked by that because they started 0-2. AFC West, the Chefs, or as my girlfriend's dad likes to call them, the Refs.
The refs.
The Kansas City Refs 5-0. AFC East is the Bills 4-2. And then this one we all saw coming. AFC South Texans. I don't know if we all saw them at 5-1, but we definitely saw them leading the division. They're gonna walk away with that this year. And I think that the current division leaders that are gonna stand are NFC East, NFC South, and then I don't think the Commanders are gonna lose ground in the division. I don't think the Falcons are gonna lose ground in their division. I think they're the champions of the division for this year. AFC West, the Chiefs are gonna walk all over it again. AFC North, Ravens are probably gonna take it for the second consecutive year. And I guess all of the AFC team divisions right now, we can kind of say we know who's gonna win them at this point.
I have a few shocking predictions in the division standings.
All right, hit me.
One, I think Washington. I think I agree. They stick there and they win that division unless the Eagles somehow come back and pull it out of their ass.
Dude, they won by 4 against the Browns. They're not.
I know. I think the Lions are going to win the division on the NFC North.
That's why I didn't say the Vikings, because I think that the Lions can come in.
I think it'll be close, and it'll come down to that meeting in Detroit at the end of the season.
For sure.
But I think that it's going to be Detroit winning because they just look so good. They look so good. I mean, minus Aiden Hutchinson, his leg wrapping around another person's leg the wrong way.
Prayers for him. That was disgusting.
I don't think a shin is supposed to bend that way.
Especially a bone that's that big.
Yeah, the tibia. In case those of you who missed it, if you don't want to hear something graphic and description-wise, I would advise you to turn this off for a second. All right. Yeah. Everybody gone? Okay. So what happened was, as he wrapped around for the sack, the shin part, the front part of the leg, where the tibia and the fibia is, wrapped around the wrong way around his
It was one of his own teammates.
Yeah, around his own teammate's knee. Legs aren't supposed to bend that way. So, as you can imagine, he's going to be gone for a while, because what happened was the tibia and the fibia both cracked in half. So he is going to be gone for almost maybe a year and a half.
He went and got surgery right away, though. If he didn't, it would have been career ending for sure.
Yeah. Going back to it, Here's one that you're going to disagree with. I think the Bucks win the division. I think it'll be close. I think the Bucks win it. I know Kirk Cousins looking good. I think the Falcons will be the 5 seed this year.
I don't. This isn't any hate towards the Bucks, but I still think that they're going to be a great team. They're going to be a playoff contender. I do think the Falcons walk away with the division this year, though.
We're going to see. I have more faith in the Bucks right now from what I've seen from their defense.
That's fair.
For the NFC West, I have the Cardinals winning the division.
That is a bold
Because the Niners don't look as good as they were. I don't give a shit what they did to us on Thursday Night Football. They don't look as good because they're missing everyone. They're missing what's it called? They're missing Nick Bosa, George Kittle, I think, or is he back?
both of them played.
Oh yeah, how could I forget Nick Bosa?
Anyways,
I have now my AFC. Actually, let me finish the AFC. I think the Lions get number 1 seed, Commanders get 2nd, Bucks get 3rd, and the Cardinals get the 4th seed. Cardinals win the division 10-7.
That's pretty fair with how ass our division is this year.
I think in the AFC, I have the Buffalo Bills winning the division, even if the Jets get a 2nd. I think they're still a wildcard team if they are 2-4. I have Baltimore winning the division, of course. Cincinnati, I've said at the start of the season, but they are 2-4 right now.
Thank God.
In the AFC South, yeah, Houston, you're winning the division.
They're walking away with that.
I have Kansas City winning the AFC West because, of course, they would. Like you said, in the AFC, we know.
Yeah,
we know.
Yeah.
As far as playoff teams, I honestly believe the Steelers are going to make it in, even if they got a really hard schedule coming up.
I mean, they're 4-2. They're not bad right now.
I see the Jets making it, like I said, and I think the Bengals will the playoffs too, a 7 seed.
Jets.
In the NFC, I got the Minnesota, Green Bay, and Chicago. Hold on. We got Detroit, Green Bay, and Atlanta as wildcard teams in the NFC.
Okay, I thought you said Chicago there for a second.
Oh yeah, I messed up, and I'm like, wait a second, no. I mistook Chicago as Atlanta.
Brother. You said Jets for AFC, right?
Yeah, Jets, I think, make it in, even though they're 2-4. I think the Bengals will too.
Well, considering they just got Devontae Adams, they very well could bounce back.
Because who the hell, other than the Bengals and Jets and Pittsburgh Steelers, who else is making it in the playoffs? You think the Chargers are going in there?
Oh, no.
The Broncos? You think the Colts? I mean, who else, man? At this moment, the Dolphins are only 2nd in the division because that division has turned into dumpster fire.
It's because the Bills are just destroying everybody in that division.
Good. And now they got Amari. Oh yeah. And breaking news happened 5 minutes or so before we started the stream. Amari Cooper is now on the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills are gonna walk away with that division.
That was a shock to me, and they only traded away a conditional 3rd round pick that could become a 2nd, depending.
Yeah, the Bills are gonna walk away with that for that would be like the 5th year in a row.
I wanna talk about power rankings also.
All right, and we'll do power rankings, and then we should move on to fantasy football.
I'm going to bring my power rankings, and I want you to tell me if you agree with me, everybody. Number 1 spot, all right, let's start with 10, actually. 10, in 10th place, I have the San Francisco 49ers.
I wouldn't say they're top 10 right now with how they're playing. Maybe top 16.
I'm saying this because they're going to be healthy.
Yeah, maybe top 16 as of right now, but top 10, no.
9, I have the Bears.
No, absolutely not.
8, I have the Packers.
Also, I disagree.
7, I got the Bucks.
That I can see, yeah.
6, the Falcons.
Yeah.
5, I have Detroit.
I think they should be maybe 4 or higher.
4, I have Minnesota. 3,
I think they should be higher.
3, I have Baltimore.
That's fair.
2, I have Buffalo.
That's also fair.
And 1, I have Kansas City.
We kind of all saw that coming.
Because, listen, the refs are good, man. I don't know what to tell you. What are your power rankings, or do you not have them right now?
I didn't write mine down. I wasn't necessarily thinking about them.
It's like about fantasy.
Yeah. So, how's your fantasy team doing? I want to hear you before I can walk all over you.
Okay, let me open up my fantasy.
Let's just say if me and Charles faced each other, I'd beat him probably 9 out of every 10 times.
I'd say 7 out of 10.
No.
Yeah. So my team, if it'll load, my league is, the schedule's not been great for me. I started off in a blowout loss in week 1, and another loss in week 2, another loss in week 3. I finally won my first game in week 4 in a close one. I lost a 1-point loss in week 5. I lost 100.1 to 99.14. Then I won this week 118 to 70. And now I got to face a team that I have not yet faced. And I just traded for Sam Darnold. And I gave up Mahomes, Tank Dell, and the Cowboys defense for it. So hopefully it does well. That Cowboys defense was the right decision to get up.
Yeah. What did they get? Like -7 points for anybody that had him yesterday?
So,
All
plus,
right.
on top of that, I think I scammed the guy who gave me Sam Darnold, honestly. Tank Dell's out for a month.
All right.
think.
I'm gonna go over my league rankings. I'm currently tied at 3rd with with a 4-2 record. I'm behind Sherry Davis, who's 5-1, and Caitlin Green, who's also 5-1. Then there's, his name is deemed approved. John Martinez sits at 3-3. He's tied with Tara, who's also 3-3. And then everybody else is like either 2-4, and then poor Sophia is currently sitting at 0-6. But yeah, I don't know. For my first year doing fantasy football, I think it's going well right now, but I know there's 8 more weeks still left in the fantasy football season. So, although I will say, I am not getting rid of Jaden Daniels. He has been balling out.
He is staying on.
I am trying to pick up on waivers. I think it was Jake Bates. Yeah, Jake Bates, Detroit's kicker. And then I'm trying to get rid of Christian McCaffrey for him because I don't know if he's coming back, and I am not willing to keep him on my team. And then I'm trying to get the Steelers defense in exchange for Kirk Cousins because I don't believe that he's going to be near as good as Jane Daniels or my backup, who's CJ
Brother,
Stroud.
you are not getting the Steelers defense for just Kirk Cousins.
It's waivers. I'm gonna get it.
I don't.
For you know how waivers work, right?
I was just about to say no.
Okay, so how waivers work is you can look at available players, and you can pick which one you want, but you have to pick somebody on your team to get rid of.
How do you even do it?
Here, I'll show you. Okay.
Sorry, bro. This is like a big thing. I'm just very curious.
All right, so you go to where it says league,
Okay.
and then you go one tab over for players, and then you can scroll through anybody available, and then you can pick to add them to your team. My top recommendations are Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith, and Bo Nix.
Oh no, someone already grabbed all of them. I'm not grabbing Bo Nix. I think I'd rather die. I'm grabbing Amari Cooper while I have a chance.
Yeah, just make sure you get rid of.
I'm gonna drop Spears. He's not very good. Well, no, I have room. I don't need to drop anybody. So now I have Amari Cooper. There we go.
Nice.
I needed him. Let's be real. Well, yeah, I just learned how something worked, and that's great.
Nice.
All right, we should move on to the next thing.
my boss texted me, so I'm just gonna reply to him real quick, and then we can get back.
Be like, sir, I am on air right now.
I'm not gonna say that. Okay, we can go right back to it. I'm gonna plug my phone back into the audio. You can switch us over to baseball.
Alrighty, everybody, let's get to baseball real quick, if my notes want to work. So here's something that's shocking. How about those Mets, man? I'm not sure if we talked about it last week, but the Mets have just been on fire. I'm gonna look this up for a second. They have, in the last few games, blown out, I believe,
They blew out the Dodgers yesterday after getting blown out,
yeah,
which
they
I think
blew
was
out
funny.
the Dodgers 7-3 after getting blown out 7-0.
It was 9-0.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It doesn't matter. They didn't score, but they
This
got
could
him
be.
back.
I think the Mets have a shot.
I think we might see a New York World Series.
I don't know. I'd hate to have LA do this to all of us, but yeah.
I think we would see we're gonna see a New York World Series. They call that a Subway World Series, by the way.
Subway World Series.
Well, it's in the regular season. It's called the
God.
Subway Series.
I don't want another Mr. Unlimited thing.
All right. Anyway, so current playoff standings. Yeah, there are 4 teams left: the Guardians, the Yankees, the Dodgers, and the Mets. Yankees currently lead the Guardians 1-0 in the American League Series. Game 2 is today at 4:38 p.m. in New York. Dodgers and Mets are tied at 1-1 in the National League Series. Game 3 is tomorrow, also in New York at 5:08 p.m. So both the Yankees and Mets are 3 wins away from giving us a New York World Series.
I could see it.
Which somebody out there definitely predicted, but it wasn't me.
Honestly, didn't the Yankees win the first game against the Guardians?
They did. They won like 5-3. It was like 5-3 or 5-2, I think.
Yeah.
It was close. It wasn't a blowout.
It looked like a blowout at first because of how bad it was going for the
In terms of hits, absolutely, it was a blowout.
The
but
Guardians-
actual runs, no.
The Guardians were not having a good day at
No.
all.
I think they're gonna drop today too, but then take the next 2 in Cleveland.
I disagree.
I think the Yankees, they win the next 2 and they move on.
They need to win 3 more to move.
Nice. Like the next. Oh, I keep forgetting they're only 1 game in right
Yeah,
now.
they're only 1 game in, so they need to win 3 more.
Okay, I think that they sweep them. I really believe
You
it.
really think they do?
I really think they're gonna sweep the
I
Guardians. Just to make
highly-
you very sad in your prediction.
I highly.
Well, aren't they playing right now?
No, they'd play at 4:38, which. What? Okay, I've
4:38 p.m.
Yeah, I've never understood why MLB starts their games at like the playoff games at like such weird times.
Why do you always start it during an anthropology class? What if I wanted to watch the Mets beat the freaking
Well, nobody's saying you can't watch it in class.
brother?
I'm just saying. I have my ways.
Listen, don't expose me in front of professors, brother. What I used that stream to the East Side website, and I watch it on the side while taking notes.
See, I just use the sports app Reel, because sure, I'm not watching the game, but I'm getting like live updates as they happen.
Remember what I said last week happened in anthropology class when the Tigers ended up advancing.
You were going crazy, weren't you?
I was like, yeah, so that's what I mean. Oh my God, they won.
All right, so yeah, so there's not really much to talk about in the way of baseball. It's just playoffs still.
Let's go over to the NHL real quick. You would know more about it, but
Yeah.
I'm interested to learn.
I
How
can-
are the Kraken so far?
I can kind of take over. Okay, so NHL Week 1 has wrapped up. Seattle Kraken they've started 1-2-0, which is actually not terrible. It took us 5 games into the season to win a game last year. So I think we're in a better spot today. So we're 1-2-0. We play Nashville today in Nashville. Nashville is currently winless at 0-2-0.
Aren't they like the Sabres or something?
No, that's Buffalo. Nashville is the Predators.
That's what I'm thinking of. The ones with the tiger mascot.
Yeah. So Nashville's the Predators. They're 0-2-0. I hate to get overconfident. I think they're going to be 0-3-0 after
If we
today.
lose to the Sabres, or not Sabres, whatever the name is,
Predators.
I'm gonna be disappointed. And I don't even watch hockey.
Predators are actually my second favorite team. When they're not playing the Kraken, I root for them, and same vice versa. I always root for the Kraken, even if they're playing the
Wow.
Predators. But the Predators are my second team.
Wow, we got a fake fan in here.
Look, there was a hockey player on the Seattle Thunderbirds they're like Canadian Hockey League, Western Hockey League. I don't know. It's like minor league hockey, and he went to Nashville, and I thought he was attractive, and that's why I'm following Nashville.
Brother.
And yes, audience, I do have a girlfriend, and she knows about this. So,
Then again, she fangirls over Mahomes, so she can't really say anything.
anyways, so our current unbeaten. Oh, actually, here's the interesting part. The New Jersey Devils lead the league currently with 8 points. They sit at 4-1-0. So that's, for everybody who knows, it's 4 wins, 1 loss, and then no overtime losses. You can't tie in hockey, but you get a point for taking the game into overtime. Current unbeaten teams: Vegas Golden Knights 3-0-0, Dallas Stars 3-0-0, Calgary Flames, that's a shocker, 3-0-0, Winnipeg Jets 3-0-0, and then I guess you can also count the Tampa Bay Lightning. They've only played one game, so they're 1-0-0, but still unbeaten. Winless teams. Vancouver Canucks are probably the best of these teams because both their losses were in overtime, so they're 0-0-2. San Jose Sharks 0-1-1. Again, Washington Capitals and Carolina Hurricanes also only played one game, but they still haven't won, so they technically count. 0-1-0 for both of them. Nashville Predators, as previously stated, they're 0-2-0. And then the Colorado Avalanche, 0-3-0. And here, I think, is the biggest shocker to everyone. Edmonton Oilers, the runner-up for the Stanley Cup last year, have started 0-3-0.
That doesn't surprise me after what they did in the Stanley Cup. They deserve it.
Dude, okay, that was...
Nope.
To come back and lose by 1 goal is crazy.
I'm more mad at the Panthers, or whatever the name was. Dang it. I don't remember the name.
They're the Florida Panthers and
That's who I was thinking, the Florida Panthers.
And the Edmonton Oilers last year.
Here, I'm curious if you know about this. The longest undefeated streak in NHL history is 35 games. Could somebody beat that this year?
I did not. I highly doubt it.
It was the Philadelphia Flyers in 1979 to 1980 season.
I highly doubt that anybody's going to come even close to beating that record. Because in hockey, it's hard to keep a win streak going for that long. And it's also... I don't know. Your players are going to get beat up as the season goes on. So you're going to have to be constantly swapping them out. I don't think that that's going to happen. I think the longest win streak we'll see this season is like 12 games. And then...
Here's what happened to the Philadelphia and Flyers, by the way. They did start 35-0. They finished the season 48-12 and 20.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, they finished first in the NHL Patrick division. And I believe they lost early.
Did you say Patrick division?
That's what it says, yeah.
I guess it was in like the
They
80s,
did reach the Stanley Cup Finals, but they lost in 6 games to the New York Islanders.
Oof. Oh, I think that was the year of that was the time of the Islanders four-peat.
They had 327 goals and 254 goals against.
Dang.
That's...
Here's a fun fact about the New York Islanders, by the way. The New York Islanders have 4 Stanley Cup wins, and all 4 of them came in back-to-back years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They did a... The New York Islanders had a four-peat, and they have not won the Stanley Cup since.
They used up all their magic.
And then, yeah, so Utah, possible dark horse contender from what I'm seeing. Utah is 3-1-0 right now. They started the season 3-0.
I thought of something funny. Imagine Utah goes to the Stanley Cup Finals in their first
year.
I would laugh at Arizona so hard.
Vegas did it in their first year. So
I would laugh so hard at Arizona.
Yeah, you know, if you wanted your team to stay Arizona, you should have gone to games. I'm sorry, but that's kind of how it goes.
It's the same kind of thing of Oakland, a little bit.
Well, the Oakland owner was he was going to move the team anyway. The Coyotes owner sold the team kind of because he had to. Actually, I don't know how that whole ordeal went down. I know part of it was like they wanted funding for a new arena, but they weren't getting it because fans weren't going to games.
Well, yeah.
So this is kind of on the fans. They couldn't even fill up a college arena. So like.
That's sad. You can't even fill up a college arena.
They can't even fill up a college arena.
That's depressing.
Yeah, so I think Utah could be a dark horse contender. Their 3 wins have come from Chicago. So Chicago's not a great team, but then you've got the New York Islanders and the New York Rangers, who were both playoff teams last year, and they beat them both in overtime. So I think they got a strong case for being a possible dark horse. We'll obviously do weekly updates.
Oh yeah.
But
obviously we'll follow them throughout the season.
We'll be following Utah for sure.
Yeah. And in all likelihood, we'll still be here during the summer, coming in and doing episodes on baseball and whatnot. So.
Yeah. And So let's move away from professional sports a little bit and go towards NCAA.
First, before we do that, I want to remind everybody that you're listening to Lute Air Student Radio, The Nest. You can call in at 253-535-7755. Again, that is 253-535-7755. If you want to come in and talk to me or Coleman, you can come in and do that, and we can have a discussion. And you'll be featured on the YouTube channel page like, you do. Anyway, now let's move on to NCAA and the Cougars. And someone's in denial about the Cougars and the Ducks. My Ducks. You still think they're not good?
I didn't say that. All right, first off, how did you even become a Ducks fan? Because you were riding with the Huskies last year.
Yeah, because I felt bad for you.
I need you to explain that to me right now.
I've always liked the Oregon Ducks colors when I was little, and so I had somewhat of a fascination with them. I hung around with you for the Huskies thing because I felt bad for y'all.
What do you mean you felt bad
I felt bad for y'all. I felt real bad for y'all in the national title game, too.
All right, anyways.
Admit it. Admit the Ducks are good.
I didn't say they weren't.
You know we deserve that number 1 spot.
No, not right. No, that goes to Texas right now.
Mm-hmm.
Texas has destroyed all the teams that they've played.
Who they played really that's been notable?
Oklahoma.
Okay, aside from Oklahoma.
The fast one I saw was Oklahoma.
Because the Ducks, they look good, man.
Well, they also looked really good last year, but Washington was their kryptonite.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, one of the receivers can't stop spitting on other people, though. So, unfortunately, we can't stop spitting on people. Yeah, you know what Shannon Sharp said about it? It would have took an act of God to get him off of that player.
I'm gonna make a really bad joke.
Go ahead. If you say Octour or some shit like that, I swear to God, I will. Swear to God, don't you dare.
Oregon player gave the Ohio State player the hawk tour. I actually wasn't going to make that joke until you brought it
I'm
up.
going to flip this chair right now. Do not turn this show into brain rot.
To our audience listening, I will never make a joke like that again, and I apologize. But I just had to do it.
I hate you for that.
Yeah, so Washington State Cougars, they're looking real good for getting a playoff spot. Sure, they took a loss against Boise State, but they were able to bounce back against Fresno, which believe the final score was like 24. It was not 24. It was 25-17.
Is Boise State undefeated?
Boise State, no. They lost one game they lost in week 2 to Oregon.
Oh yeah.
They lost 37-34.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. I watched that game too.
Yeah, and just so Charles doesn't hear me, Oregon only beat an FCS team by 10.
Listen, okay. At least my team didn't get blown out in the national championship to Michigan.
Yeah, you know why?
McCarthy.
You know why? Because he didn't go to the national championship.
God. Listen, what was the last time y'all won a national championship?
1991.
How are the Cougars?
Good question.
We had a whole argument on this on Instagram. I'm not even lying.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over the Cougars' remaining opponents. Currently, they're sitting at 5-1. Looking real good halfway through the season. Sure, they're playing a bit of an easier schedule this year with the Pac-12, kind of not being a thing right now.
Yeah.
They got Hawaii on Saturday. That is going to be an easy win. Hawaii has to travel all the way from, I believe it's Honolulu. No, Hilo. Big Island. I don't know. They have to travel from over 3,000 miles to Pullman. So they're going to be real jet lagged. They're not going to be in that game. They couldn't even beat Boise State. Boise State was jet lagged and beat them. So
that's sad.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Then you got San Diego State the following week. But Wazoo's already had their bye week, by the way. So all these games are going to be consecutive weeks. So Hawaii, then you're at San Diego State, then you're at home versus Utah State. Then your next 2 games are on the road at New Mexico and at Oregon State, and then you end the year with Wyoming. I was looking on ESPN, and the Washington State Cougars are favored to win every single one of their remaining games. That doesn't mean they're going to win all their games, but it just means They should. They
Wasn't
should
there
win
an
all.
NFL team that was favored to win every single one of their games, and then they blew it down the stretch? Even if it's NFL, not NCAA, it's kind of a bad luck charm to kind of favor the.
I think you're talking about the Chiefs last year, but we all know how that ended up.
No, not that. I think I'm talking about the Cowboys.
The Cowboys? Ooh.
They were favored every
yeah.
single game at home, and they were favored by double digits last year in the wild card round. How did that go for you, Cowboy
Yeah,
fans?
how did that?
How did that go?
Yeah, but so just because they are favored doesn't mean they're going to win every game.
Yeah.
But they are working with a much easier schedule this year than they have been for the past. Here's what sucks though for them. There will not be a Pac-12 championship played this year, obviously because there's only 2 teams in it. So,
Really?
Yeah. So the Washington State-Oregon State game will be the only Pac-12 game that's played this year. Washington State cannot play in the Mountain West Conference Championship because they are not officially part of the conference. So if they were to make it into the playoff, they would be treated as an independent. So like Notre Dame, UConn, and whatever the third independent school is.
Interesting.
So
Oregon State is not going to the playoffs.
Oregon State just dropped a crucial game to Nevada.
Mm-hmm.
I think they let Nevada score 21 points on them in the fourth quarter. And
Yeah, I feel bad for you, Mr. Jabari Johnson, but you ain't going to the college playoffs, buddy. You don't even listen to this show.
Has he even played this year?
Yeah, he played one game and lost it. I think. Or he played a fraction of it.
Well, their one loss before Saturday was to Oregon, so
Yeah, he played one game.
he must have played. Beavers kind of got blown out that game, so that's probably why he was thrown in.
Yep, that's what it was.
His backup.
He did do pretty well. I think he scored the only touchdown they had.
Oof. You know who? John Mateer on the Cougars. He's looking like he could go super high in the draft.
I think third round.
I think he's going first. He's basically a mix of a running back and a quarterback.
Yeah, but
Which
let's think about this. You got Carson Beck, Jason Monroe. You got Shedeur Sanders. Those are the 3 needy teams. You got the Giants who need a quarterback. The Panthers who need a quarterback. I forgot the other team. The Browns need a quarterback.
they need a quarterback.
Who's left? Aside from Seattle. Exactly. Aside from Seattle, who needs a quarterback? That's why I think he'd go later in rounds. Because all the good quarterbacks in the eyes of scouts and stuff will be taken. Unless somehow Jason... What's his last name again?
I don't.
You forgot his name too. Okay.
What school?
Wazoo.
Oh, it's John Mateer.
Okay, John Mateen.
Yeah.
Unless he blows them away at the combine like Anthony Richardson somehow did. That's turned out well. I don't see him going very high.
I think he's gonna go high. You may not agree, but I think he will. The reason I think so is because he leads quarterbacks. He leads quarterbacks in rushing yards. He leads them in rushing touchdowns. In the Apple Cup alone, he had 2 rushing touchdowns from over 20 yards out. One was on 3rd and 20, and he somehow managed to get that in. That was great, by the way. I was sitting like right above from where that happened. Yeah, I don't really know what else there is to say about.
Go Ducks. Let's go to
We should talk about how Iowa just embarrassed the Huskies.
Oh yeah, let's talk about how Iowa embarrassed the Huskies. I forgot about it. I was waiting for this to be brought up, but I forgot about it.
How do you let Iowa, of all schools, how do you let their offense drop a 40-piece on you?
Go ahead, you go off. You go off. I know you need it, you Husky fans.
I'm not going off too much. Huskies were already, when they lost to Rutgers, their season was already over. It's hard to make, even with the new 12-team playoff format, it's super hard to make it with 2 losses.
Let alone 3.
Yeah. Well, yeah, once you win 3 losses, you're done. Huskies sitting at 4-3. I believe their bye week is this week. I'm telling you, man, a huge factor is the cross-country play now for conferences.
Let's look at the rest of the Husky schedule real quick. The Huskies in football, they face off against next
Number 16, Indiana.
Is that at home?
Yep. Oh, no, it's in Indiana.
It's in, yeah, so
Then
that's
you
going
got
to
USC in Washington. Then you got ranked number 3 Penn State in Penn State.
Oh, yeah, okay. So that, you know what the Penn State whiteout game is, right?
Yep.
That's going to be the whiteout game.
Yep.
So
Then you got UCLA coming to Washington. Then you end up with number 2 Oregon.
that's in Oregon.
Yeah.
You know what? I know that the rest of their schedule is not looking too hot. I just think it would be the funniest thing if Oregon lost by 3 points again for the 4th consecutive time to Washington.
That hurt my soul. Listen, we just beat Ohio State. Let's look at the Oregon Ducks schedule. I'm just a bit curious.
I want to, okay. Why, first off, really smart move to put 12 men on defense. I will give you credit for that.
Why are you sliding as a quarterback?
Yeah, no, okay. First off, smart move to put 12 men on the play, because live ball, flag, like, you get to take time off the clock. You lose, obviously giving the other team 5 yards, but the time that was on the clock when the penalty was committed, I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's penalties. Basically, the clock did not.
The clock
keep
doesn't
running.
reset for penalties.
No.
So it was a smart play.
So let's.
But why are you sliding when there's... I think he started his slide at 2 seconds, and then I know a lot of Ohio State fans are mad because they're like, he was down with 1 second left. They could have gotten the timeout. He wasn't all the way down until the clock hit 0.
We won fair and square.
He was
people.
not.
Here's the next matchups for Oregon. Oregon will head to Purdue, then face ranked number 22 Illinois, then 24 Michigan, then Maryland, then Wisconsin, and then end with Washington. So that's one heck of a schedule to end.
That's one heck of a schedule.
That's one heck of a schedule, but I'm pretty confident we're gonna win out.
Fun fact about Purdue is that at home, they are, I think they always beat top 5 teams at home. So.
You don't see it every bit. My eyes just went wide-eyed.
Yeah, they've. I don't know if it's always, but as of really recently, if you're a top 5 team and you're traveling to Purdue, good luck.
We're gonna win.
Good luck.
I'm confident we'll win. We're gonna beat them. But yeah, let's get to the last topic before the end of this show.
Yeah,
the
we're
NBA.
running out
We
of
have
time.
T-minus 1 week until tip-off, and Coleman, you got some playoff predictions you want to get to.
I didn't write them down, but I think the Celtics are gonna go. We're gonna see them back in the finals again this year. As much as I hate to say it, they're not gonna win the finals, but they're gonna go back to them. Celtics.
I don't watch much basketball, so I'm just gonna throw out 2 random teams. The Toronto Raptors. They're probably gonna be the same conference. Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors.
I mean, Golden State. I guess apart from last year, they're consistently making the playoffs. So.
Toronto versus Golden State. We're the championships.
All right, buddy. The odds of that right now, so unlikely.
If that happens, I will go to Toronto and wear a clown wig in front of the Toronto Raptors stadium.
I'm gonna shake your hand right now and
I
make
don't
sure
have
you
the
do
money.
that.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Because we have to potentially fly down to Minnesota.
I think a team that could make a deep run. What's a team that wasn't in last year that could make a deep run? The
Toronto.
Bulls. I
The
think the Bulls could make it
Trailblazers?
deep. I wouldn't doubt it, honestly. Trailblazers.
They were ass last year.
They had 2 top 16 picks. I don't know how the NBA draft works. I just know it's only 2 rounds for some reason. But Trailblazers are going to be better than they were last year. I definitely want to try to make my way down there to a game again this year. However, it is a 2-hour drive from where we're at, more with traffic. But yeah. And as much as I hate to say it, Oklahoma City looks way better this year than they even did last year, and they were the 1 seed. So we can pray that they finish like 35 and 47 or something like that.
Hey, Josh Giddey fingers no longer on the Oklahoma State Thunder.
That's true. Josh Giddey's no longer on the team. They got Alex Caruso from the Bulls. Yeah.
Here's something interesting that I think we talked about a while ago, but we haven't talked about on the show yet. The Oklahoma City Thunder, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, allowing the history of Seattle to come back to Seattle in the case of an expansion team happening to Seattle.
I think that was more than 2 to 3 weeks ago, but still.
Well, it's
yeah.
still some big news that we didn't cover on the show. I don't believe.
Yeah, the Oklahoma City Thunder are willing if Seattle gets a team, which is looking very likely because Adam Silver has said that expansion will be discussed during this league year.
Right now.
Like not right now, but like during at some point in this like 2024-2025 season, they're going to discuss it, they're going to vote on it, then we'll see what happens.
Just whatever you do, don't let Nintendo of America own the Sonics.
Oh God.
I've learned
But yeah,
from America.
so Oklahoma City, they recognize themselves as a completely different team than this Supersonics, similar to how the Utah Hockey Club doesn't recognize themselves as the Coyotes anymore. Yeah, so they're willing to cede the history back to Seattle. So it'd essentially be like the Supersonics just went on like a 15-year hiatus and then just came back and started playing again. I guess it's year 17 now, but still.
Listen, I just want to go to a basketball game in Seattle, okay?
I don't want to have to drive to Portland for a professional
I
basketball
really
game.
don't.
Yeah.
I want to see I want to bring back that Sonics and Blazers rivalry.
Oh my God, that's going to be a good one.
That would be so fun. And also, first game of that season, we are back. It better be OKC in Seattle.
Absolutely. The environment is going to be so electric.
It's going to be Bottlegate from Cleveland all over again.
Dude, I guarantee you, when Oklahoma City inevitably comes back to play a game in Seattle, it's not going to go well for them.
We're going to kick their ass.
I wouldn't say that, but the fans are definitely going to let them hear it.
Oh, yeah, I would. Like, after what you did?
After what you did to this city.
And now we're stuck with 3 mediocre sports. I guess the Kraken aren't really mediocre.
The Seahawks aren't that mediocre. At least we have a Super Bowl title.
I mean, the Sonics have it.
Then again, look at the Jets. Can they say the same thing? They have a Super Bowl title, but they're still mediocre.
The Jets Super Bowl title is from Super Bowl 3.
Plus, it's only been 5 years since we won a playoff game. It hasn't been that long for Seahawks.
That's true. And we've been to the playoffs multiple times since then. We just haven't won.
I listed them earlier.
Yeah.
I don't need to scream
We're not going to go over it again. But
I don't need to scream again. Totally.
Do you need to scream again?
No. I think I let it all out at the beginning. And if I would scream again, it would just be everything I said earlier, pretty much.
All right. So, I don't know. I think that pretty much covers it for today.
For this episode.
Yeah.
The beginning
So we're going to cut it a little bit short today, but
Yeah, it was nice hearing from everybody, being able to talk to everyone again, and, you know,
yep.
we will see you guys in the next one.
Yep. And as we said earlier, this should be up on YouTube, on the Hawkverse YouTube channel within 48 hours of air. So just look forward to that.
And everybody listening, I wish you well with midterms, and I wish you well with everything else. Have a good night, everybody. Oh, and hold on. Later tonight, be on the lookout for the laser show. Cleaning up the closet with DJ Blast. Have a good night, everybody.